Testing. Hi, guys. Welcome to my channel. My name is Emmy from Emmy Evolving. This is going to be a really potent reading when YouTube decides to cut my audio. Am I still mute? I shouldn't be mute anymore. All right. Good start to the day. Anyways, I asked what we were going to talk about, and what I heard is flow with a change. So change is guaranteed in this period. Oh, no, we're not doing that many cards. I don't think so. We're not doing that many. Okay. It's time to flow with change. It's time for you to allow yourself to get to a point where you give yourself permission to experience life to its fullest. Its fullest. Okay, one more deck, and then I'm going to start. Here goes. Good morning, Charlie. Okay, there. Okay, let's get started, guys. What is this going to be about? Let's see. Oh, I like this a lot. Okay. Okay. I'm going to pull two more cards just because, my ADHD. Okay. Love it. Love it, love it, love it, love it. So there's change that's coming. There's going to be a part of you that wants to hold on, that wants to kind of stay where you're at, because where you're at right now is where you're comfortable, even though you're struggling where you're at, even though you're not reaching the levels of accomplishment and success that you're ready to reach. Okay. So here's the thing. Your soul has respected your process for quite some time, and you are being asked to respect this process as well. Whatever this process is, it's for your greatest good. Okay? Respect. So you need to have respect for your process. And what's your process right now? It's a process of creation. So that feminine energy, that lady goddess energy, this is about creation. This is about entering into a space where you can manifest all the things that you're trying to do. It can happen during this period. I think this period is going to last through the rest of the summer. You need to be careful about receiving that sentence as though you can wait until the last day. You have several months left. No, you have to start right now. Oh, that's rude. Okay. So I am I'm receiving this message, and it's a message of, are you in a space where you're now struggling for funds, for money? I don't want to say the rest because it's rude. Okay, I'll say it verbatim. Okay. Are you struggling for money now? Well, you wouldn't have been had you just listened when you were told nearly 2 years ago to start your business. Now it's going to be an uphill battle, because even if you have a good product, even if you have good marketing, everyone is in a space where they're needing to kind of penny pinch. Had you started when you were being given the messages 2 years ago, you would have established your brand. Here's the bottom line. People would have spent no matter what. When people are stressed out, they spend. When people are happy, they spend. When people are wanting to celebrate, they spend. When people experience loss, they spend. Spending is a human given. Had you taken the time when you were given the instruction 2 years ago. You would have established your brand, you would have established your business, and you would be perfectly fine right now. That's the message. Why is that message being brought through? Because you're being given instruction again right now. If you listen to the messages of soul and flow with it, even though it's scary, even though it takes you to a different place than what you're accustomed to, your space of comfort is your prison. So I'm being told to use myself as an example. So I established my business 8 years ago, officially. 8 years ago, maybe 9. No, 8 years ago. And I've always been socially awkward. I don't like speaking in front of other people. As a matter of fact, very recently, maybe just last fall or winter, my husband's relatives came to visit for a very short visit. And mind you, we've been together for going on 27 years at this point, and they had never heard me speak in the way that I spoke during this visit. They've known me for 27 years. They've never heard me speak in the way that I spoke. And it wasn't like, oh, I was disrespectful. No, we were just having conversation. So when I was told to establish this business, it was something that was scary. It was something that made me very uncomfortable because I only agreed to be publicly visible as a hobby. As a hobby. 8 years later, and it did not take me long to establish this. I have a thriving business that's been perfectly fine for the last 8 years. From that, I launched an academy, which is being converted into a university. I also have a church. This is the community of the church. We have an actual congregation space that is an exclusive space strictly for our congregation. I've been able to help so many people. And now I'm being prepared to actually step away from this type of work. And I'm not just talking about live streams. I'm being pushed into the space that I actually truly belong in. All of that because I disregarded my discomfort and my aversion to being witnessed, my aversion to sharing my thoughts, my stance, my opinion. For, I don't know, like 18 years, my husband was the sole breadwinner of our relationship. I was a stay-at-home mom. He had to leave every day, 5 a.m., sometimes 4 a.m., drive 2-3 hours to get to work, there for 9 hours, then another 2-3 hours to get back home. We work together and we're home together all day. We're literally together all day. We like each other, so it works. All because what? I listened to my soul. There was no preconceived notion of I'm going to be rich, I'm going to this, I'm going to that. It was just like, soul, that makes me really uncomfortable. Do it anyways. Okay. I don't know how this will turn out. Turns out I was made for this. The way you see yourself and your level of comfort with who you are is what's blocking you from actually achieving the things you're capable of achieving. And let me tell you, I have zero business education. I have zero public speaking education. I have zero training for my energy work. No one taught me any of the things that I do today, right now. Why do I know so much? Because if I don't know something that I need to know, I learn it. I seek out the information and I make sure I understand it. And for those of you who are like, but I mean, the way you talk, I mean, like you probably have multiple degrees in college. I have zero well, no, I can't say that anymore. I'm a certified personal trainer, certified nutrition coach, and certified corrective exercise specialist. But that's recent. That's recent. I have not finished college. All these ideas that you have as to why you can justify your lack of movement, lack of flow through your life, it's all bullshit. I want you to take some time today to look at all the people who have reached billionaire status. Were they trained for that job, or did they pursue it to no end, shifting and pivoting every time they hit a wall? That's all you have to do. Allow yourself to be flexibly strong. Shift and pivot and pivot and shift. That is all you have to do. That's all. And I love to use this person as an example. Someone that I assisted, very casual assistance. It wasn't in a session. It's actually what gave me the idea and the confidence to launch my soul-based business service. So he went to Australia, completely different country, right before COVID started. He was on a limited budget and he was trying to kind of woo some of the companies there. And he already had tremendous skill. He's a genius in his field. He really is. He really is. This is not me tooting his horn. This is me speaking fact. This is something he's so passionate about. And he came to me and asked me, like, should I go home because COVID happened? And I was like, for what? Well, because his family needs it. What are you going to do for your family? What are you going to do? Well, because this and that. I said, well, are you sure there's not excuses? Because, yeah, they might be pissed off at you because you didn't come home during COVID. But here's the thing. They're already pissed off at you. You're going to go home now with your tail between your legs with nothing to show for your effort except more debt. Or are you going to stay, let them be pissed off, do something, build something, make something, and then when you come back, you can take care of them if you want. If you want. For me, that's Filipino culture, Filipino mentality. When you have enough to be able to take care of your parents, you do. You do. So fast forward, and he made his choice. He made his choice. I didn't tell him what to do. I just gave him that logic because his soul wanted him to see his circumstance from a different angle. Right? Sometimes we use the people we love, the people who love us the most, as the reasoning, as the excuse why we will not allow ourselves to excel. So didn't talk for a few months. And then next time we talk, guess what? He's sending me links because now he's been featured in Forbes magazine. Yes, he's been featured there. He's been featured in CNBC. He's been featured on Fox News, MSNBC, CBN. I don't fucking know this channels. He just sent me a shit ton of links. I was like, yes, yes. See what I said? See what I mean? You stayed because it was your choice. It wasn't enough to stay. You needed to push. You needed to chase. You needed to fucking keep going. That wasn't easy. That was not easy. He made that happen. He made it happen. And he's very independent. At this point, very independent. He is successful on his own. I didn't make that happen for him. I told him what his soul wanted him to know, and he did with that information what he needed to do. No one can make this flow happen for you, but if you allow yourself to flow, my God, the type of life changes that occur. Wow. Wow. Just wow. The way you open up to your life is highly contingent on you. You need to contain that fear and that hesitation. You need to allow yourself to get to a point where what? That flow leads to a space of tangible proof that you are aligning. For me, I'm not interested in money to be rich, but I do allow the money that I allow to reach me, I allow in to help remind me I am aligned. I am doing what my soul is asking me to do. And when I'm not aligned, when I'm turning my back on the very thing that my soul tells me I need to do, I need to focus on, that dries up. It dries up. Am I chasing money? No. I am following instruction from soul. I am flowing, and the money is nothing but a byproduct of that flow. You have to flow with the change. If you're going to chase something that creates and projects out into your environment an energy of desperation, I don't chase jack shit, yo. I don't. I don't. It either is good or it's not. In my eyes, it's either good or it's not. Not it's good and pure or evil. No, it's either a good outcome or it's outcome that I don't want or don't care for. And if it's something I don't care for, I pivot. But I never stop the flow. I always will continue to flow. This is super important because what's happening right now, if you don't allow yourself to recognize the efforts to constrict and compress your potentiality, nothing you do will come to fulfillment. Nothing you do will come to fulfillment. Why? Because it's like the difference between pouring from cup to cup, pouring from cup to a strainer, and then pouring from cup to cheesecloth to strainer. It's going to restrict the flow. So you go from cheesecloth. Okay, let's go ahead and add what is that called? A coffee filter. That's going to restrict it even more. If you're aiming for perfection, you will never achieve what you set out to achieve. You will never achieve it. I did not find my actual speaking voice, and it's shifting still. I did not find my actual speaking voice until I had been speaking publicly for several years. I invite you to listen to the way I sound right now and to go ahead and find one of my videos before 2020. The sound of my voice is even different. The way I spoke then was a much higher register because why? Speaking in the back of my throat because I didn't actually want to speak. Now there's no constriction. Why is my voice so soothing to people? I don't think it's soothing, to be honest, but why do you guys think my voice is so soothing? Because it reverberates from a place of truth. There's no constriction. There's no trying to keep that truth bottled up because I'm afraid how people will receive it. People are going to receive whatever your efforts are in the way they choose to based on the trauma filters they are using. So do you. Create and flow in the way you were intended to. Your struggle will be lessened the more that you flow. So am I telling you how to be rich? No. If you're not already rich with gratitude, gratefulness for the fact that you are being guided, for the fact that you don't know what to do, but your soul is telling you what to do, it's scary. There's no guarantees, but your soul is telling you what to do. I've been able to help quite a few people launch their businesses. And no, I don't mean I don't mean promoting. I mean helping them receive the messages from their soul so that they can properly launch and move through their business venture. Mhm. I've been able to give people the messages from their soul that have helped them to close massive deals. People don't understand. A portion of my clientele are ridiculously fucking wealthy. Because of me? No. Mm-mm. So what do they go to me for? To further expand on what they've already done. I know the work that I do. I know the gravity of the work that I do. Even if I'm uncomfortable, I know I can handle whatever my life brings my way, because whatever your life brings your way is nothing but an experience that will further cultivate the aspects of you that can push you even further. I was speaking to some person, a gym friend, and he's telling me like, oh, he has to take whatever testing. He's in finance. He has to do whatever testing, and so he's been studying, and he's going to be at the library for the next 3 days, and yada yada yada. And he always feels like it's not enough. And I told him one of the most pivotal points in my journey was recognizing the aspect of me that feels like my effort is not enough. That is not an aspect that needs to be destroyed, silenced, pushed aside, or any of that. That is the aspect of me that pushes and ensures my success, my continued growth, the continued expansion of my efforts. I need that part of me, but it cannot govern me. It is intended to inspire me. I don't know enough. Learn more. I don't know how to pivot. Figure it out. I'm too stiff. Stretch. For those of you who weren't with me back then, I think it was almost 2 years ago at this point, I had gone ahead and I purchased the certification program to become a personal trainer. Why? Well, because part of my goal with my workout is to prepare to be either a figure competitor or a wellness competitor. That's a bodybuilder. I know a lot, but I felt like I didn't know enough. So what did I do? Did I just Google things? No. I went ahead and purchased an expensive program to teach me how to be a personal trainer for myself. That's why I included nutritional coach as well as corrective exercise specialist. I was very aware there were imbalances and I needed to know how to properly correct them. So I was told I had a year to finish the program, all three. What the guy did not disclose is I only had 6 months to finish the actual CPT program, Certified Personal Trainer program. And then my son, who also decided to do it at the same time, he's like, oh my gosh, we only have 2 weeks left. And I was like, 2 weeks for what? He goes, to certify. And I was like, we have a year. He goes, no, you don't. Mind you, I wasn't even halfway done with the program. And for any of you who have taken the NASM CPT, fucking crazy. It's a crazy ass program because the in-depth knowledge you are receiving. And I was about to quit until I spoke to my brother, who has lived as a personal trainer his entire life since he was around 18 years old. He's in his 50s. He has a wealth of knowledge. And you know what he said to me that told me, like, okay, I better quit messing around and I better push. He said, what you're learning right now in that 6-month window took me almost 30 years to figure out through trial and error. Well, oh, dang, okay. So what did I do? I rushed to finish the program. And I mean rush to finish the program. I only had 24 hours to study for a certification test. Yo, that shit was not easy. It was a proctored certification exam. So I studied for 24 hours. Half of that was me stressing out. Spoke to my best friend. She said, listen, how much do you need to score to certify? 75 or 70? She goes, okay, so what's the difference between earning a 75 and 100%? Nothing, but I will know. I will know. Anything less than 90 is a failure. That's, to me, that's how I am. Right? That's an excuse. That's an excuse. And so I listened to one of my besties and I was like, all I need is a 70. All I need is a 70, or it was 75. I don't remember anymore. And I go to my proctored exam and I'm taking the exam. I finished in 20 minutes. You have like an hour to finish that. I finished in 20 minutes and I'm like, I fucking failed. All I need is 70. All I need is 70. Please, please, please. Finish a proctored exam. Guess what? They passed me. And I was like, I bet I got a 70. I bet I got the fucking bottom. That's fine. That's fine. I'm certified. That's it. That's all I needed, the certification. I go and I look at my student portal. Guess what? They give you your test score. I earned a 97 because my son gave me a pep talk before I took the test. You know what he said? You already know this stuff, Mom. So if the question doesn't make sense, use your common sense. None of the questions made sense to me. So what did I do? I used my common sense. This is me at the gym. The question applies to me at the gym. What would I do? That's how I answered every single question. I earned a 97%. Your excuses for why you're still in the same space, not achieving the things you want to achieve, are nothing but excuses. You're not a failure. You just choose not to succeed. You're not failing. You're just choosing not to move forward from where you're at. Do you notice? Do you notice the pattern here? These are things you are choosing without realizing that you're choosing it. No one's going to give you permission to succeed. No one. Well, no, I have people who support me. Yes, they support what they see you doing. That's not them giving you permission to succeed. Only you can give yourself permission to succeed. So you need to start holding hands with your higher self. You do. You need to start holding hands with your higher self. Why? Why is that important? Well, because every time I feel like I'm about to stumble, falter, or even full on fail, I say, girl, higher self, girl, give me the information. What do I need to know? Tell me how to pivot. Tell me how hard to go. If I need to sit down, you let a girl know. You let me know. And I'm going to do whatever you tell me I need to do. You better not guide me wrong. And I know you won't because you never have. And I always, always, always manage to find a way through, not just by the skin on my teeth. No, no. Just like with that test, that certification test, mm-mm, mm-mm. Not just by the bare minimum. Why am I able to excel in the way that I excel? Because that's my expectation of myself. I'm no longer expecting perfection. I struggled for much of my life with perfectionism. I'm no longer expecting perfection. What am I expecting? Performance. I need to perform at the level I know I'm capable of performing at. I know I'm capable at performing at a specific level, regardless of whether people believe in me or not. What matters is that I know I can do that. Can I do it right away? Maybe not. How long will it take me to do it? However long it takes. As long as I keep pushing, I will get to where I need to be, where I want to be. This is all up to you. This is all up to you. The way you flow, how difficult this flow is, how much struggle you experience. You are in full control of all of that. No, that's not true. I mean, okay, case in point. In order to get me to comply, soul stranded me in a parking lot. I was stranded in a fucking parking lot with my family for like, I don't know, 8 months. Seriously. And then because I still was on the fence about compliance, soul had me be transient for like 2-3 years. I was effectively homeless. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Don't be. That was one of the most fucking beautiful periods of my life. The most peaceful, the most growth inspiring. It was phenomenal. How could you see it that way? You were homeless. I didn't see myself as homeless. I saw myself as untethered. I wasn't bound to the confines and parameters that other people set for me. If the energy of the space that I was existing in was not facilitating my growth, my healing, my peace, my efforts, we would go to a different place. It's, yeah. Oftentimes we would travel nonstop. I can't do that. Yeah. Well, do you think I had a choice? Do you think that I had a choice? Do you think I was like, I think next week I'm going to be stranded in a parking lot? Yes, I would like that. I would like to be stranded in a parking lot. Um, leave me there for like 8 months. Leave me there for like 8 months, maybe 9, maybe 9. And then I would like to be transient for a couple of years too, top it off, really round out the experience. One of the most common questions I get from people, Emmy, how did you get so strong? What? Because I don't see myself as strong. Yeah, I mean, I've been watching you for years. I see you get through so much stuff. Like, oh my gosh, all the things that happen to you, you always manage to get through it. Did I have a choice not to? I think that's the thing. When we start to think we have a choice to fail ourselves, let's clarify. When we start to think we have the option to fail ourselves, we start to really constrict and restrict the movement. You are not imagining the changes that are coming. And these changes are on a personal as well as a collective level. By autumn, you will see the byproduct of your efforts, the results of your efforts by autumn. And if you flow with your soul, guess what? You'll enter into a space of security within the home and outside of it. That space of security might be financial. It might be something else. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. Maybe I'm lucky. I don't have fear of financial stuff because my husband's always taking care of us. It's always been this thing in the back of my head where it's like, if I can't do it, if I can't make the amount of abundance that's needed, I always have him to fall back on. And maybe I was able to be so ballsy being stuck in a parking lot, being homeless with my children. Remember, when I say stuck in a parking lot, our RV was 20 something years old and breaking down. Okay. There was no slide out. There was no fridge, no generator. We used a camping stove inside the RV. There was no hot water. There was nothing. There was nothing. Nothing. Okay. So maybe I was so ballsy, allowing myself to experience that because I knew if really need be, all I had to do was call my mom. She'd tell me, transfer the money from my account into yours. I had access to her bank account. And she would regularly tell me to transfer money into my account if I needed it for me or the kids. I never did. Not during that period, no, I never did. Why? I needed to know who I really am and what I'm really capable of. And to do that would be to tether me once again to a space of a lot of toxicity. A lot of toxicity. Unfortunately, some of my relatives are extremely toxic. And when I say extremely toxic, I'm talking about clinical narcissism. I refuse. I'd rather be in a parking lot, learning about my power and my purpose, than accepting the money that would have solved that problem very easily. Very, very, very easily. That would have been nothing. The amount that I needed to fix the RV, that would have been nothing. That's chump change to them. Yet I did it on my own terms, in my own time, through the guidance of my soul. It was worth it. And the emotions that you're seeing don't come from a space of sadness. It comes from a space of realizing that I'm finally learning that I'm worth it. I know it's not a lack of self-worth. It's a lack of awareness and acknowledgement of what my self-worth actually is. Because I know I don't deserve to be treated poorly. I know I don't deserve to be exploited or any of those other really ugly, nasty things. But I never really allow myself to consider the other side of that spectrum of worth. I know what I don't deserve, but what do I actually deserve? Everything. I deserve my full potential. I deserve to live the life that I'm capable of creating for myself once I give myself permission to do it. There's no limits for me. Because why? Because I'm better than everyone and yada, yada, yada. Nope. I don't think that at all. Why are there no limits for me? Because the only limits that exist are the limitations that you actually believe apply to you. I don't believe anyone else's fears, hesitations, or limits apply to me. You think that you think you're better than me? Because no, I think you need to let go of that shit just like I let go of it. If you don't want to let go of it, hold on to it somewhere else. I will not allow you to taint the way I see myself. Not anymore. And me seeing my value has nothing to do with needing to tear other people down so that they can see my value as well. If you can't see my value without me offering you something, you don't deserve what I offer. That's the bottom fucking line, and no one will ever convince me of anything different. If you can't see my value without me offering you something, you don't deserve what I was willing to offer you. Say that a few times. Say that to yourself. Say that out loud. Say that while looking the motherfucker in the eyes. Because if you really need to fight with someone, stop fighting with yourself and start fighting with the people who want that smoke. Fight with them. They want it. Why you keep fighting with yourself? That's how you block your entire flow. I don't want to fight with people, but I tell you, on the days where I feel like, ooh, I'm going to fight with somebody, I'm not going to fight with myself. I'll tell you that much. Not going to fight with myself. You want to volunteer to have me unleash my frustration on you? By all means, act a motherfucking fool in the comments. Do it. And on days where I feel like it, I will engage you to your detriment and my amusement. And people might be like, oh my God, I can't believe she said that. That's an aspect of me, and I will no longer be ashamed that it exists. I will no longer be ashamed that I have the capacity to out troll the motherfucking trolls. I embrace myself wholeheartedly. Now, is that a nice part of me? Not really. It's like it is kind of ugly. Yeah, it's kind of ugly. Mhm. I mean, think about it. I'm an Aquarius cusp. I have a lot of Aquarius energy in me. On top of that, I was baked in a Scorpio stellium oven. On top of that, Capricorn moon, highly empathic. I know all your fears, all your insecurities. Don't make me use yourself against you. You want to troll me? You better make sure it's a day where I'm full of grace. Those are most my days. Full of grace. Just whatever. But if you think you're going to approach me on days where my energy is very low, I'm in a space within myself that's just really unfriendly to myself. Woo! Oof. You're not going to have the outcome you want. Promise you that. If you allow yourself to see how you are carefully calibrated for the very environments that your soul puts you in, then you will begin to understand you can handle anything. But the moment you enter into this space, this logic, this place of fear, like, oh, what if I can't do it? What if I can't do it? You're going to block your transformation. That pressure is going to just be something that causes your pipes to burst. I was talking to an older gentleman at the gym, and his water heater broke in his apartment. Him and his wife live in an apartment. They they relocated, and turns out he is a plumber and I think a contractor by trade. That's his entire life. He did that. So he knows the ins and outs. That water heater that broke had been broken for some time and no one knew. And I say that because the reason they found out the water heater broke, their patio, their deck or balcony, their balcony rotted and fell down onto the first floor. And I was like, oh, that's not a new thing. That's been going for a while. He goes, I know. And he showed me pictures. He was so upset, poor guy. He showed me pictures of the piping, the copper pipes that lead to the water heater out on their balcony. And he says, like, you see here, this is not properly anchored. When the hot water goes through, it shakes the pipes. And those pipes can only take so much shaking before it bursts, because it actually affects the strength of the pipe if you keep shaking it like that with pressure and heat. Why am I telling you this? If you're not properly anchored in an awareness of who you are and how you are, your pipes are going to continue to shake when you run that hot energy through. That heat of your emotion causes your pipes to shake. And if you're not properly anchored in the way you need to be anchored, meaning an awareness of who you are, an acceptance and embrace of who you are, it's going to burst. It's going to create tremendous damage. And the longer you ignore the slow leak that's happening, this slow leak of your energy, the more you are destroying the very foundations on which your life is being built on. I said to the gentleman, are you sure that didn't rot the floor joists underneath your living room, your entry, your kitchen? I mean, I would hate for either you or your wife to have the floor collapse. That's really bad if the entire balcony collapsed to the lower floor. That's rotted all the way through. There's no way you're going to convince me that was only on the balcony. That seeped in through the floorboards. Common sense, common sense. So, how does this apply to you? Well, for me, I know I have an attitude if you rub me just right. It's like the grumpy genie in the bottle. You got to rub it the right way, baby. I'll let that out if I feel like it. Most days I don't. Most instances I don't because it's unnecessary. But if you take it too far with me, I'll absolutely let that out and you'll regret that interaction. Why? Because most people cannot handle the type of passion that I have. I am an intense person, and I used to be ashamed of how intense I actually am. I am very intense on a daily basis. As my husband says, I have zero chill. It's true. It's true. It's true. I have no chill. I have no chill. Most days that just stays under the surface. Why? Because I'm busy having fun and enjoying myself and my life. I'm enjoying the interactions. You're being asked to complete whatever this is. He looked at all the wood. There's no termites. If there were termites, you'd be able to know because as soon as that breaks through, the termites would go flying. They'd be all over the place. So no, there's no termites. It's all water damage. So what was it? Completion. Oh, the sun is setting because it says west, right? The sun is setting on whatever that cycle is that you've been struggling through. So it's coming to a close. Because it's card number 4, that's telling me this has to do with you. This is a personal circumstance. Excuse me. It doesn't have to do with someone else. It has to do with you. I'm wondering, if this is something that has to do with how you've been restricting your movement and flow. Okay, bravery oceans. You have oceans of bravery in you. What is courage? Is it a lack of fear? No. Courage is what you do while you're afraid. Would you call me fearless? No, I do have fears. Would you call me strong? The only reason I can lift the loads I lift is because I know the mechanics of it and I use proper form and I know how to brace. And I'm not just talking about weight, I'm talking about the heaviness of life circumstance. I know how to move through it. So, what would you call me? Courageous. Why? Why courageous? Doesn't that mean you're fearless? You have no fear? No, the word fearless can only apply to me if your definition matches mine, which is having less fear than you do courage. And what is courage? What you allow yourself to do and achieve while afraid. While afraid. So your soul is not trying to trigger you. It's not trying to get you all upset and all like avoidant. Your soul is trying to encourage you to choose this for yourself. For some of you, you have the option of choosing this for yourself. For others of you, you have to do this or your soul will fucking force you. Going back to sharing that I was homeless for a period because I was stranded in a parking lot in a broken down RV. Those brakes were rebuilt before they broke. It still pisses me off. Those brakes should not have broken. You know why they broke? Because Michaela over here, Archangel Michael, he intentionally broke my brakes. First, he instructed me to go to Colorado. So you know you have to cross mountains to enter or leave Colorado from any direction. Not even joking. So he had me cross Colorado state lines from Tejas, and then he fucking stranded me. Yep. Oh, no. Before he stranded me with my brakes, he first stranded me with a freak snowstorm at the very bottom of the state in a broken SRV where we had no generator, no heat. Like, are you fucking kidding me? I literally was wearing like 5 pairs of pants. I can't regulate my temperature. It's just extremely difficult for my body to do. So I barely sweat and I can't stay warm. And at that time, I was like 90 pounds. So I'm cold on a hot day. I was cold to my bones. I was shaking like this for like the 2 days we were stuck. Like, my body hurts. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yes. Why? Because my soul already knew I was going to fight this process to the bloody end. I would fight it unless my fight was diverted. And then I didn't have the energy to fight. It's kind of hard to fight life circumstance when you're stranded and cold and going through a lot. It's hard. It's very, very hard to fight because there's so many other things happening. Do you have a lot of things happening in your life right now? Like, I mean, this can't possibly apply to me. Like, I don't even know about flow anything because God, I'm just tired. I'm just trying to survive my day to day. Like, I can't do anything else. I'm so just thinned out, spread very, very thin and depleted. That's for a reason. It's so you can't fight the process. Flow with it now. Flow with it now. Why? Because I was in that very same space and I had very little fight left. And because I allowed myself to flow, I started my business in October 2017. From October through the end of December, because I flowed, my 1099 was a 6-figure 1099 in 3 months. No awareness of any business, anything. Do you know what that flow does for you? And my dumbass, I gave it all away, literally. Literally. Because I thought I was going to prove that I'm a good person, right? And these people didn't care. These people didn't care. I didn't have none of that left. I didn't even realize I made that. Because as it came in, I gave it away. Had to learn the hard way with that as well. 3-month period, 6 figures. 3-month period, 6 figures. All because what? Because I flowed, and me flowing had nothing to do with me being able to speak so eloquently and like have all of this beautiful background. I was still live streaming in parking lots. $30 prepaid Cricket cell phone. That was my investment in the company. $30 prepaid Cricket cell phone. I was live streaming under trees. I was live streaming in the back of the RV with a curtain behind me. It was so hood. I loved it. It was so hood. Oh, it was so peaceful. It was such a beautiful time in my life. It truly was. It truly was. So, you guys, what other excuses do you have left? I couldn't fight my soul anymore. I was exhausted. Hi, Iris. I was exhausted. I was exhausted. And to make sure I didn't fight the process with some second wind of energetic reserve, my soul allowed cycle after cycle after cycle of jealous fucking bitches trying to tear me down. For what? Because I exist. I draw people in for whatever reason. I don't know why. Maybe y'all like that I'm weird. Weird is not a bad thing. I don't know. Maybe y'all like that I'm weird. Whatever it was the recipe to get me to where I am right now and be who I am right now. And who am I right now? This expanded, elevated version of myself? No, who I was before I let people get in my head and tell me I'm not what I am. That's who I am. This is the version of me that has always existed, but I layered mask after mask after mask because I was afraid of how people will receive it. Now I'm like, listen, you don't like me, that's okay. Not everyone has good taste in people. Go away. Go away. It's okay. You should turn around, walk the other way. Don't engage me because I'll entertain myself at your expense. Don't engage me. Just let me be. Just let me be. Leave me in my little space. Leave me my little space. The winds of change are coming. And these winds of change require you to put your sails up so that you could go all the way through. There's no point in saying the winds of change, winds of change, winds of change, if you're not going to use a sail to really harness that change. Change is inevitable. What you do as you change, that's all completely up to you. No matter what, you're going to change. Ooh, there's this video I came across. Hold on. It's my video, but this video that I came across, hold on. Here. Oh, that's not it. Where is it? Where is it? It's here somewhere. Give me 1 second. Maybe I won't even show it. It's already been posted, but this is something very powerful to hear. Oh my goodness. Show me the damn video. Here. All right. If you're afraid of changing, you know what I say to myself. For any difficult circumstance, the more elevated the difficulty and adversity, the more I must remind myself this. May I forever be changed by what I'm living through in such a way that I will never allow it again. May I be changed in the ways I need to be changed, so I never have to experience this depth of struggle and suffering ever again. May I be changed with grace and compassion for self. May I be gentle with myself as I am changed by what I am living through every time I go through something. It forever changes me in the way I must be shifted in order to never allow that again. Mm. Mm, 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 mm. 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 Maybe I'll repost that. But just allowing that change to be what it needs to be so that you can finally return to who you've always been. Just listening to that with my eyes closed and receiving that truth as though it wasn't me that spoke it. How much have you been through in life? How much have you been through in life? How much have you allowed yourself to change? That'll tell you everything you need to know, because this ice castle you live in, where you're so frigid with yourself, it needs to be thought out, and you need to draw to you all the goodness that life, the world, and the universe has to offer. You're not here to be someone's doormat, someone's whipping girl, whipping boy. You're not here to live a life of mediocrity. And I say this with the utmost confidence because why? Because this live stream is where you're at right now. That means your soul wanted you to hear that. That means your soul has been so desperate to remind you of this fact. You were not created to be mediocre. There's nothing wrong with mediocrity if that is what you are destined to be. You notice how my community is small. That's because you will be the way showers. You will be the way showers. You will be the guardians and the guides for those who are not ready for the types of changes the world is about to bring. You're not here to be mediocre. It's the rebirth of magic. And it's the need for you to recognize some of the layers that you have don't need to be shed, because this card came in reverse, right? Some of the layers that you have don't need to be shed. And I think the card is speaking specifically about the parts of you that have the capacity to defend you. You know, there's people that used to pick on me when I was still strictly on Facebook. They didn't see this side of me. They didn't see the side of me that was like, meet me at this parking lot. I'll fucking fight you. I don't give a shit how big you are. I know how to grapple. I know how to grapple. If you don't protect your shit, I'll chuck you out. I'll dislocate something. Why? Because it's cool? Because I'm badass? No. Because if you're going to threaten me, I will defend myself to the appropriate level of defense. They didn't know that because I let people get away with so much for a couple of years. I let them get away with so much, and I just kept right on going with no word from me. No word from me at all. I've had people try and do horrendous things, paying others to curse my children who are not even online. Zero response from me. These days, try and touch one of them. See what the fuck I do. Try and touch anything I love. Whether it be a friend, a relative, even just a community member. Try it and see what the fuck I do. When you are formidable and you play small, it emboldens the predatory people because they sense your power. But what they witness is your willingness to enable their malignancy. I see that's what happened. For quite a few years, that's what happened. And then what? And then I got tired of it. And then what happened? Nothing, because I was tired of it and I no longer allowed. I no longer allowed. Do you need to go crazy? I mean, what's happening? What is it that's happening? Is it an attempt to drain you of your energy, to disrupt your flow? Because that's what this conversation is about, right? Your flow into the part of your life where things are beautiful. Things are expanding, amplifying, elevating. You deserve that. You don't have to earn that. What you have to work to do is not earn what is already yours, but work to allow yourself to receive what has been set aside for you by God. I don't have to work to be myself. Who I am on these live streams, this is who I am. It's not an act. It's not a public image. Literally, this is who I am. For those who went to that in-person event, was there a different version of Emmy that showed up there? Or is it the same freaking girl on the live streams as she is in person? I don't have to work to be who I am. What I had to work on is no longer restricting, no longer hiding who I actually am. That took a lot of effort. That took a lot of effort, and it ravaged my body. All the times I should have spoke up but didn't. What? Because I didn't want to be drama? I'm not drama. I'm not. But people be trying to start drama with me all the time. For what? What did you do? I mean, you had to have done something. I'll tell you exactly what I did. I existed with no shame, no guilt, and no limitations as to how much of me and my heart I show. That's what happened. That's what happened. Every single time, that's what happened. Like, how dare I be a light in the darkness, even a dying ember, because I was so depleted. I was this dying ember, and yet people were still offended. Offended that I wasn't stomped out in the darkness. Excited, thinking that they would be the one to stomp me out. How's your foot feel now, bitches? Burnt up? Good. Never forget the consequence. Never forget that consequence. And what did I have to do? Not a damn thing. They hurt their own feelings. They hurt their own feelings. One person in particular, I laugh every time I share this. This one person thought they were big shit because they have this huge following. And then, they tried to start shit with me to try and destroy me. And they had so much nasty shit to say. Their entire existence was focused on tearing me down publicly. Never even interacted with this person. Didn't even know they existed until they started it. Because people told me they started it, not because I came across it, but because my community loves me enough and they were offended on my behalf. And I was like, yeah, leave it alone. And she was so focused, so fucking focused on sending online bullies. Been there, done that, bitch. Been there, done that, bitch. Used all sorts of different types of ways to try and curse me and this and that. And you know what happened? Soul made sure I saw several videos. Every time this person comes across my FYP, I either block them or I have my assistant block them. And Soul just keeps showing me, probably to show me my effects, right? The gravity of me without even trying. And I did correct that by sending legal notice, but without even trying, without even doing anything. Those several videos that I happened to come across, they were live. They were live streaming their cosplay of me. From what I could tell, they were really trying. And the reason I know I'm not imagining that is because I looked at it and I was like, is that how people see me? God, that's fucking ugly. That's annoying. Do I have those mannerisms? Oh my God. Serious? Ew, I'm annoying. That's what I said. That's what I said. Complete with the accessories. Yeah. Yep. Ain't that some shit? Yeah, these people think they can destroy you only to realize when you stand in your truth, when you have an awareness of your power and how beneath you that action and circumstance is, they have no choice but to pivot, to get out of your way, and then follow right after you, pretending to be you. Ain't that some shit? Ain't that some shit? I was telling my good friend, just because, like, sometimes when fucked up people try and antagonize me, the petty comes out of me a little bit. I was telling one of my really good friends, family actually, I was telling her, like, ew, she's trying to cosplay unwashed face version of me. Unbrushed hair, unwashed face, still in my pajamas. I mean, I don't know. I might need to start showing up on live streams consistently, dolled the fuck up, because I'm just saying, if you're going to cosplay me, cosplay the really cute version of me. Like, ain't that some shit? How powerful do you have to be without you even realizing? For someone to cosplay the just woke up, just got out of the gym, haven't showered yet, haven't brushed my hair, haven't washed my face, makeup smeared everywhere version of you. Because, guys, the reality is this: I was a professional makeup artist, wardrobe stylist, and hairstylist for several years. My work's been featured in publications, it's been published. I was booked by agencies. When I say I can doll myself up, I mean, I don't even look like myself after that. And you guys might be like, well, why don't you doll yourself up? Because my husband doesn't leave me alone when I'm dolled up. He all up in my business, rubbing on me and just fucking give me space to breathe, sir. I mean, I like it. Don't get me wrong. I do. I like it. But just like, seriously, sir, sir, you're going to knock me over. So I don't doll myself up. Okay. And also, most importantly, I no longer feel like I have to wear a mask to be acceptable. Many times you guys have seen me come live with zero makeup on, moisturizing my face. um, you know, it's one of those things. It's one of those things. You just let yourself be you. Don't have to prove anything. Just flow. Use your energy for what your energy is designed for. Allow it to renew you. You don't need something else outside of you to reignite your fire. You need to reignite it yourself. And no, you don't need to change directions. And no, you will not continue to progress until you give yourself permission to progress. Excuse me, the burp escaped. It escaped. It escaped. Last but not least, you are so heavily protected. You are so heavily protected. So heavily protected. Michael has an idea. Hold on. And then I gotta go. Oh, today is the last day to get your tickets for the Abundance Amplifier event. Click on the QR code or the link in the comments to be able to get that. If you're on if you're on TikTok, you simply go to the link in my bio, click on the Hubi link, and then look for the Abundance Amplifier. Hold on. Stop rushing me, Michael. Stop rushing me. He said to show you guys a picture of my mother. My mother's a baddie, dude. She's a little hottie. Hottie baddie. Oh, do I not have a picture of her in here? I don't have a picture of her in here. Oh, well. It is what it is. Hold on, let me scroll back down. It is what it is. I don't have a picture of her. Well, if you saw the picture of my mama, I mean, she's gorgeous. Gorgeous. Just now you guys have to see a picture of her. She's like so ridiculously beautiful. I don't have it in here. I have a I can't show that picture of her. She's flipping people off in that picture. I can't show a picture of her. I don't have it in here. Oh, well. Well, just visualize. Well, okay, since you keep rushing me, here, you want me to show a picture? This is a picture of Michael photobombing me. Michael photobombed me on my throat. Fucking asshole. He photobombed me. Can you see that? He photobombed me. On my throat. This guy. Anyways. No, he's not checking out my mom. Michael was saying, show a picture of my mother. So that way people understand I have the potential to be a cutie too. But my mom was more than a cutie. She was just fucking gorgeous. Gorgeous. She was a literal beauty queen. She won all the contests. You have a crush on Michael? Girl, you like the ones with a 3/4 sleeve, all ruffles on the sleeves, skirts. They're not kilts. They're skirts with like a petticoat underneath. You like that? That's your thing? He's mad. Well, if you'd stop dressing that way, I wouldn't say that. I don't know what you're mad at me for. I'm just speaking the truth. I gotta go, guys. For those who are in the sanctuary, go meet me over there. Let's go live and continue this conversation. I gotta tell you guys something super duper important in the sanctuary, like not even joking. I tell you something very, very important, the progression of everything. And I'm gonna share about some of the things that I saw in a live stream on TikTok. Well, I was like live streaming on TikTok. And then I was looking at maps and we were talking about oceans and volcanoes and continents. You know what I'm saying? Let's talk about it in the sanctuary. If you guys want to join the sanctuary to get that conversation, go over to your mama's house. No, I'm joking. You can join the sanctuary through the QR code on the screen or the link in the comment. For those on TikTok, go to the link in my bio, click on the Hoobie link, scroll all the way down and look for Soul Sanctuary. It's towards the bottom. Oh, actually, I might have removed it. Let me just check. I might have removed it simply because I was like, I don't want new people. No, it's still there. Sacred virtual community is what you look for. It's like the picture of the beach. So yes, time to go. Love you guys. See you again.